The purpose of this video is to provide guidance on towing, anchoring, and trailering a floating restroom. Towing. Towing a floating restroom is best accomplished using a work barge that has a flat end or a 20-foot or larger boat with a minimum of 125 horsepower motor. A motor with a prop is preferred to a motor with a jet. On-water transportation. Always drain the floating restroom water ballast tanks prior to towing. When towing or pulling a floating restroom, secure a tow rope to the front corners of the hull's deck cleats. If pushing, ensure there is a form of cushioning between the boat and the floating restroom. Secure the floating restroom to floats or docks when not anchored. Never allow the floating restroom to ground out on a hard surface such as concrete, asphalt, or rocks. Anchoring. There are 3 anchoring methods: piling, deadman, and 2-point cabling or C-flex, and is dependent on water and site conditions. Oregon State Marine Board staff will provide a complete list of anchoring parts for purchase or fabrication, as well as detailed installation diagrams. All cables and connectors should be assembled prior to anchoring. Anchors are custom made from cast concrete according to specifications provided by the Oregon State Marine Board. A backhoe is used to load the concrete anchors on blocks at one or both ends of the floating restroom deck for transport to the anchoring location. The anchors are secured with ropes to the floating restroom handrails, guardrails, and cleats during transport. Once the floating restroom is at the anchoring location, the cable assemblies are attached and the anchors are tipped off the deck and into the water. Final connections and adjustments are then made. All cabling and connections should be inspected annually and replaced as needed. Cable is susceptible to eventual breakage, which often occurs at the end closest to the floating restroom. Snatch blocks on the C-flex system should be inspected and greased annually and replaced every other year. Trailering. Trailers are a flatbed with minimal wood decking, 3 or 4 axles, and a tongue equipped with a ball coupler or pintle drawbar for hitching to a dump truck. Older units were equipped with a storage-type trailer that were not intended for over-the-road use. Newer units are equipped with a transport trailer that is suitable for over-the-road transport. The operation and maintenance of the floating restroom trailer for launching and retrieval include the following activities. Trailer tires should be checked for proper inflation prior to each use. It is important that no metal-to-metal contact of the trailer framing to the underside of the floating restroom occur. Wood decking and fasteners should be inspected and repaired prior to loading the floating restroom onto the trailer. Current transport-type trailers are equipped with a telescoping tongue to accommodate easier launch and retrieval, but should be fully retracted when towing. The vent stack and mooring light are removable and must be removed when towing on the highway to limit overall height. The floating restroom should always be secured to the trailer with 2 straps and the winch cable. Transporting a floating restroom on public roads should be left to a professional moving company such as a mobile home carrier. Any questions about this process can be directed to the engineering team at the Oregon State Marine Board.